Do do y'all believe in horoscopes?
To an extent.
What do you mean by believe? When people say like, do you believe in something?
Like do I believe it's like their personality makeup?
Yeah, based on when they were born.
No, I mean it's so general. Like it applies to everybody. Not everybody, but it's pretty vague. So it's just like I was born in August, but if I look at Leo or Virgo. But if I look at a sign of someone who's born in May, I might fit that description too. Like I could fit the description of every single month. So that's why I'm like,
that's when all the extra nonsense comes in. It's your rising, your moon, your first house, second house, all that stuff that I don't know about. But you have more than one sign, which is why they would say it's like that. But your main sign would be your main characteristic traits. Allegedly.
So I never heard people say you have more than one. I always heard like
something like there's 12 houses or something like that. So it depends on where the moon is. So you have like a moon sign, a sun sign, whatever is your actual like birth sign, your rising, your stuff that you're like on I don't know exactly how it works. So I pay somebody to do those for me, but
what are you?
I'm a Taurus.
So is it on point, do you feel, or
most things?
Because you said Kian's a Virgo. Does he seem like the average Virgo?
I know that's not what people say.
I'm like either a Virgo or a Leo.
They say Leo. I'm born August 8th, but
yeah,
my thing is, what does that even mean?
She about to tell you.
I'm gonna do it because I'm not the. I don't. It's a name for those people. I am not one of them.
What's the name for those? What's the name for what people? Leos?
No, for the people who can sit and do your whole chart.
That read your palm and whatnot.
Like Miss Cleo?
No, but really, like they actually do. Not like I'll be out here calling people Miss Cleo, so they be canceled, so they be hexing us, okay? I don't need to be hexed.
How much does that cost?
It depends on who you go to. It could be anywhere from $50, it could be $100 plus. I've never paid more than $100. I'm sure there are people who do charge more. I have not found those people.
But I've had people ask me that like several times, like, what's your sign? And I'm like why do people think it's like a conversation starter? Like that's going to determine how I act.
People usually get mine right. So I think there's
but the same thing they say about you, it probably could apply to me, and I ain't paying $100 for it. I think it'll probably still be the same or similar.
Yeah, actually, I don't know, because I would expect you to be more of a Virgo than a Leo. So I don't know. Like I said, I'm not trained in it. They do have people who are actually trained. There's a word for it. They go to they get those certificates. They do have to do classes and stuff like that. So they actually know what they're talking about. Make sure you go to somebody who is reputable. Don't just pick somebody else.
Yeah, I always hear it about, like, they say this person is a Gemini. Tupac was a Gemini, so you know that energy. Like,
that's not always true, because I know a lot of Geminis and they're not two-faced people. They're very nice, very kind.
So doesn't that go with the whole thing of it can apply to anybody?
I don't know what that's about.
Don't do a Gemini wrong.
That's the same thing they say. Like, I hear the most about Gemini, Scorpios, Cancers. I don't count out all those people. I'm like, is it really? Some of it applies, but...
So what's the biggest thing for you? What's your biggest trait?
Mine's is really it's a cliche. You mess with the bull, you get the horns. If you leave me alone, I will leave you alone. And they say I'm stubborn to a degree, but if you leave me alone, I will leave you alone. It's really that simple. So that part
isn't that something that could like apply to all people though, right?
No, she's saying it just applied to
not really.
Everybody that was born on that day.
I'm respectful because I feel like I don't know if I could be another sign.
I think I'm Aquarius. And I don't know anything. I don't really believe in it. People always say, "Oh yeah, I knew you were this."
encounter an Aquarius.
So let me ask you this: if you were in church and someone, a deacon or someone, asked you that question, Amrit, or a pastor said, "What's your sign?" or Kenya, if someone asks, like, do you think that's okay in like church, like that whole astrology and the signs?
I would say it depends on what church you at. It depends on who's preaching. Because
But like at the church at all, like say your pastor gave a sermon and he mentioned something along them lines. Like, would that be an eyebrow? Like, would that raise your eyebrows? Like, what is he talking about, or why is he talking about this in church?
like I said, it depends, because I feel like a lot of the pastors now are TikTok preachers, which is not okay to say. Sorry to the pastors.
Elaborate on that.
You know, they get there, they're not in the book, they're not studying like the way they're supposed to. They seeing what's trending, and that's what the sermon is, which I understand. It's clickbaity, you get the people in the doors. However, you got to get them there, but I feel like there's an element of the old school missing. So when I go to church, I don't want to hear about this week's trending topics like "Save My Soul." That's my king.
Okay. I don't think I've heard TikTok preacher, but I can agree with that. Like,
makes sense, right?
Like a lot of times, like, yeah, they do what's trendy, and I've seen a lot of people post more preachers on like Instagram or social media, and I'm like, I don't get anything from their messages.
Because my grandmother was a preacher, and she went to theology school. I was at her graduation, and most people are not ordained or trained or called. They following what may be the family lineage, but you are not called nor chosen, and you don't have no business being up there. So when you get up there, you're just talking about whatever, because you be in the world. And that's okay for Saturday night or maybe for Bible study, but I don't want you headlining Sunday morning. I don't want to hear that. No.
I agree with that. Not everyone should preach.
Not everybody hates it.
Or at least if you're going to preach, keep it 100 about what you are, who you are.
Not only that, study. Don't just be up there telling me your background story, what you do, like really study. And child, I'm trying not to say these people's names, but we know some of the famous people that don't have no business.
Say names. Say some names.
The church community is not one I want coming after me, honey. But we all know that certain pastor that nice little church, and he writes the books and he buys his wife cars and things because he had to grow into her and she was a coach. And yeah. See,
I feel like there's several of them. Isn't that like a few people?
That main one though.
Oh.
You know, or some of the pastors that you see on these reality shows married to certain people, but then you hear all the scandals that they have going on in their church, you know, like people pregnant. That's not a church you should be going to.
I feel like that.
Some of the churches that are bigger and they're pop and they have the most followers, the people, they're not ready. Like there is one up and coming pastor, I really like her. She's not there yet, but I like her.
But I need some names.
We won't be naming any names.
I need to look them up. But no, I can agree with that. Some people just aren't ready yet.
So, Kian, you said about the horoscope thing. If your pastor were to ask you what your sign was, would you just play ignorant and act like you don't know? Or you would say what your sign is?
I tell him I don't do that.
But that's not what the question is. Yo, what's his sign?
No, but he's right. Like, if he's not comfortable, he would be very confused. Like,
no, I'm not going to answer a question that like if anybody asks me something, like you're going to be on the defense first. Like, why are you asking me this? But I'm not
asked you that question before. I'm pretty sure you just answered it. Like, oh,
I never answered you. Like,
I don't. Y'all are friends in a friendly setting. I'm at church. I'm here for guidance and counsel and wisdom. Why are you asking me foolishness?
But even if I'm at church or in a friendly setting, or talking to anybody, if anybody there asks me that, I'm like, why are you asking this?
And also that's smart. Don't just be telling people all your information, because people are weird and they have weird energies and weird intentions. So it's good to be on your guard.
I don't know. I just always was just like, the whole astrology thing and thinking that your life is planned out from the stars and from the year that you were whatever. Like I'm like, isn't that sort of like sacrilegious in a sense? Right. See, I didn't even think I thought we were gonna talk about some lighthearted topics. I'm like, what we talking about these deep topics for?
I grew up in the church. My grandmother would be telling me over in her grave if she heard me saying, like, I don't do that. I do the tarot cards and stuff. My grandmother would have a fit. You do what? That's witchcraft. For me, I don't feel that way. I feel like there's light and dark and everything, even in the Bible. You take what you need, because a lot of people who do these spells and tarot cards and stuff, they use the Bible, honestly, for some of the things that they need. So it all depends on you do your research and you see who you going to, because
they're not using the Bible for no tarot readings.
I've heard that. I've heard people use
the
Bible for.
I never heard that. That would
people who cast spells and stuff like that. They're not reading a wicked book. They're reading the Bible.
Yeah, even African history, they said some of the first Black Christians, the slave masters had a problem with it because they felt that they were mixing African religion with the Bible and using it like the saints as a mask, like for demons and stuff like that. And that's kind of like where the voodoo thing came from and whatnot.
From the Bible?
They said that they had these gods and that when they came over to convert them, they masked it.
There's porn. There's things that shouldn't be. Everything is in the Bible. So whatever you need is going to be there. It depends on how you read it and how you interpret it.
It makes sense, though, because not every person that preaches from the Bible is of God, right?
Absolutely.
And if you're not of God, then you're of the devil, right?
You have something.
But can you take the Bible and cast spells from the Bible?
Yes, you can.
I don't know.
I don't think so.
It depends on who you ask, honestly.
Yes, you can.
I've never heard that before.
I've heard our pastor say some things that were like bordering on next level.
If you don't know what you're looking for, it's not gonna make sense to you. It's gonna be, oh, this is normal, this is standard. Because nothing has meaning until you add meaning to it, right? Because they say like, oh, it's wrong to do rituals, but every church you walk into, y'all doing rituals, y'all praying, y'all singing, y'all praising. Those praise breaks, that's a ritual. Y'all get up to heal the sick and stuff like that. If you're doing it right, there should be no sick people when they leave. If everybody is really of God like that, you should be healed when you walk out of your church.
She has a point. That was another thing from,
because we use the Bible for what? That is a practice of witchcraft. The only thing is you just have a different religion.
They did not like, going back to slavery times, they didn't like the praise dance. They didn't like when everyone got excited. They didn't like, because they said this is rituals that they're doing.
Because you can even feel the energy. Being in a church where everybody's praising and running and it's real and it's sincere and you got a good pastor up there and it's really hitting the people, you feel it. It's different. The atmosphere changes.
What we call the Holy Spirit, they don't do that at white churches.
It's not every church you walk into they can call the Holy Spirit. You can sit here and people could be shaking and crying. You be sitting like, is the game on? I'm ready to go. Not everybody can call the Holy Spirit. You have to have a certain connection, with spirit.
I don't know, because it'd be people at my church who be catching it, and I don't be stealing nothing.
Some of them are faking. Just because you can speak, I used to be able to speak in tongues when I was a little kid. I don't remember how it came about. I can't tell you how to do it now.
So you think you were faking it?
Maybe. I don't know. Maybe it's because we spent so much time in church. Maybe it's something that
you just caught on to.
And I was able to pick it up. Honestly,
that's interesting.
If you asked me to recreate it, I wouldn't know where to start.
No, I don't know how to do that. I said, I don't even know where I would start with that. I don't know how people do it, but I don't have that gift.
And you can tell the difference. You know who's playing and you know who's really, you can tell.
Can you tell?
Yes.
I feel like some people say the same. I've heard some people who do it and they say the same thing over and over again.
But so see, nothing wrong with that because maybe that's the only words they know, but the sentiment is the same. If they have the feeling, you'll be able to feel it. If you get close to that person and you can feel it, that's good. If you get over there and it don't feel like nothing. Them people probably playing, and you should back up.
I don't know. I didn't think we was going to talk so deeply.
I didn't think this was going to come up. I'm not a religious person. I don't be talking about religion.
Yeah, Amber brought up religion. I was like, what? I thought we had some lighthearted topics.
I thought this was going to be a good little catch up, Kiki.
I thought he had some lighthearted topics. We talking religion and all this stuff. I'm like, my God.
No, that just came up randomly.
I would say it's whatever you believe. If you don't put no merit behind it, then you protect it. If you don't believe it, so boom, you good, you covered. But if you go dibbling dabbling, you get curious, I would just say stick to what you know. If you're not comfortable over there, you think it's darkness, stay away from it.
So on a lighter note, Married at First Sight came back. Would you ever go on Married at First Sight?
I can't. I don't qualify because I have a kid. They don't take people with kids.
All right. So say that qualification. I didn't know that. First off, I didn't know they don't take people with kids.
No kids.
Oh, that's
Wow.
okay. Man, okay. They discriminate on that show.
It actually makes sense because a lot of the matches don't work out because it would be harder because you have to not only get to know this person in 8 weeks, you have to get to know the kid, their schedule. What if the kid don't like you? Kids take time to warm up, or if the kid gets attached, divorce.
Right.
Yeah,
So
that's a tough one.
say that stipulation was off. Would you ever go on Married at First Sight?
Yes.
Why? Like, what would make you want to go on that show? Amrit's asked this question before.
Because I love the idea of love. I love the idea of somebody setting you up. That's like a Disney story. Like,
but most of them fail.
You gonna find my perfect match for me? Absolutely, I'm gonna do it.
But most of them fail. Knowing that a lot of those fail, would you still go?
Doing that. It's not that the matchmakers fail, the people fail because on paper they perfect, but you can't account for human behavior.
But they don't just go by paper. They meet them and they talk to these people.
You can't account for human behavior because, like Dr. Viviana was saying, like Chris, she said, I love Chris. He was charming because you have to see, I think 3 psychiatrists that they said, it's not just the experts.
They take like a mental.
Right. Yeah. So there's 3 different, they go through your whole background. They talk to your friends, your family. They really get in depth in your business. People can fake it. I do believe that there were people who beat the system. I don't know how, but I can see that.
So who beat the system?
There was a guy.
I only started watching 2 seasons ago, so I don't know everybody.
I think he was a basketball player or something like that. I think he was
tall dude.
Yeah, married a shirt. Yeah, girlfriend the whole time or something weird like that. His family didn't come to the wedding. Like, it was weird.
Yeah, he was cheating. Yeah.
It was weird. There was another girl, she had charges for stalking one of her exes or something like that. Some people do get by.
Okay, so that's it. I didn't know all that.
They set you up for failure.
Go back. Like, matter of fact, it's not even probably worth going back and watching because when they do the little recap shows, you can pretty much see who.
I'm not going back to watch.
Because that's they're at 2.5 hours. It's too long to be going back seasons. I ain't got time for that.
I don't even watch the full episodes now. But
it's actually getting boring to me. I'm gonna give this season. I'm gonna let this be my final season because it's getting too 90 Day Fiance for me, as I told you before.
So if you think this is like a fairy tale thing, like what, like I'm wondering why would people go on it? Like Amrit said, more people in the Black community and like in Black culture need to start doing like more of the arranged marriages type thing. Yeah. Do you agree? I don't agree with that.
Never. If my parents told me when I was young, this is who you marry. Well, not what I was going to do in my life, because Jesus, we tried that wasn't going to work for me. But if they told me, like, you ain't got to look, you just marry this person, your life is going to be good. I mean,
you wouldn't have done it.
A little bit.
I don't think people would have done it. Because, like, I don't think people would have done it at that point. Because it's like,
I think it's different because I've met a lot of people from other cultures where they do have arranged marriages and they say they hate it. Like, oh, I wish I had the opportunity to pick, but I feel like it's so hard when you picking because you don't know where to look, where to start. Truth really starting with no map, no compass. You don't know where you at or what you're doing. You're just trying different things and hoping they work.
So with Black culture, like you see, like in Black culture that there are a lot of people, like it's like people aren't embracing marriage too much. So like, do you think that's like like in other cultures, they might hate it, but like they do it. They still get married. They still abide by it. Do you think that would be successful? Like if black cultures started doing that?
Something, because in Black culture, we did do things like that. You know, back in the day, like my great grandma was alive until I was maybe 22. So we did do things like that. They got married early. They got married young. You got your little boyfriend. That was it. It wasn't all this. You date this person, date this person, date this person. Had 5 kids here. Had 5 kids in 10 different states. We didn't do that.
Facts.
But that's.
So I do think we need something implemented because it's getting out of hand. There's no reason why you should have 3, 4, 5 different baby mothers. You're not married to nobody. So out of the 3, 4, 5 women you got pregnant, you couldn't see yourself settling down with none of them. What was the point? Like even Nick Cannon, yeah, he's rich and all that stuff, but that's a mess because y'all praise Nick Cannon on one hand, but then beat Future down on the other hand. How? What's the difference?
I thought Nick wanted to be married to Mariah. I thought Mariah called it quits.
Well, that's
No,
different.
well, we're not. After Nick had like 5.
He lost his love.
What they got to do with Mariah Carey? She had nothing to do with
He lost meaning. He lost
he
purpose.
got remarried at any point.
I think Mariah used them though. She just used them for the kids.
Because she was getting up in age, you think?
She had kids with anybody. You really think she wanted to use somebody? She would pick Nick Cannon. She got access to all kinds of people. They really had to have something.
But he has good genes. Like
no, he's not ugly. He's intelligent. He's a good businessman. All that stuff. What I'm saying is, she could have had her pick of anybody. She could have had more powerful, more handsome.
You might think that, but
I think they had. I think they.
You might. I think you might think that, but that's not true. She couldn't have had her pick of anybody. Like we look at you see a lot of the single attractive women in Hollywood. We think they got their pick of everybody, but they still single. So I can't say that about Mariah.
Poor Vivica.
Poor Vivica. Poor Carrie Hilson. It's a huh?
Look at Halle Berry. Maybe they're crazy because you have to be. I don't think you can be sane and be in Hollywood as long as they have.
You can be sane, but I think a lot of times they're looking for people more on their level, but that's not going to happen. Like people on their level who can get other women, they're not going to settle for.
No, like one person I really love, like Tamar Braxton. I'm obsessed with her. Do I realize that she's probably crazy? Absolutely. She's probably not right in the mind.
Probably.
I love her so much.
She's not right in the mind.
Is she single?
Also, look at Tony. You think Tony?
He got divorced.
Tony's more quiet than Tamar, but Tony's probably ain't all there either.
Tony's a nut too.
But their white counterparts have someone though, even with them being crazy.
Not all of them.
But most of them.
Long-term whirlwind sticking 15, 20. Well, yeah. Yeah, they're not having these long-term relationships.
But you know what I think with their counterparts, or if you say their white counterparts, and what I've seen with like, not just like in Hollywood, but in normal life, even go back to college, like there were attractive females in college and they get married to dudes that you're like, why are they marrying them? Like overweight dudes or people that, you know, maybe not on their level, but they get married to them. I don't think a lot of Black women are going to in college.
I used to care about the way people.
No. Let me stop you before you go. When you were younger, you cared. As you get older, when people get older, when Black women get older, and the options start getting smaller. I was 22.
I still had options. Well, I decided.
You still got options now. You only.
Oh yes, I
29. Yeah.
But I'm saying like I think.
But what I decided was that the way I was doing it wasn't working, so let me try something different. So I said, you know, if I usually go out with this kind of guy, let me date this kind of guy because I'm short. I realized I'm 5'2". You don't have to be 6 feet. I'm all the way down here. If you 5'9", I'm not gonna notice. Like everybody's taller than me. Even in heels on, if you're 5'9", you're still gonna be taller than me because I might make it to 5'7.5". You're still gonna be taller. So you don't need to be And as far as fat, I've dated fat guys before. As long as you look good and smell good, I don't care. And I love dating fat guys because they warm and they always want to eat. They're not on their diet. They're not smacking French fries out your hand. If it's 3 o'clock in the morning, you're like, are you hungry? They hungry.
But that's a different mindset now. Like I feel like your mindset has to change, and I don't know, like.
Also, I date a lot of foreigners. So you think all of them are handsome? Not traditional American handsome. They're handsome for Wakanda. Like, I don't look at them like, oh yes, you're fine. Like I have a conversation with them. I'm like, okay, like he's smart. He has something to offer me. I can learn something from him. Whatever.
So it's more on the personality.
It's no longer physical. That's not the first box that must be checked off.
Especially because like I usually date people who are older than me. There's no way you 55 years old and you got rock hard abs. You're gonna have a little dad bod going. That's okay.
55 is a jump. That's
Yeah, that's something that's different though. Because I'm like,
well, let me tell you, it's because I grew up with my dad. My uncles, all them in my life. All the men in my life were always older than me. So I'm nothing creepy, like nothing bad never happened to me or nothing.
You had to get that disclaimer. Yeah.
If they wasn't, I'm like, everywhere my dad was going, I'm like, I want to go. My dad, my godfather, wherever it is, I wanted to go. Like, so I was always with them always underneath them. So I got brothers and stuff. My brothers were kind of like knuckleheads. I never paid them mind. So like being under them, I always knew like, oh, you're pretty, this, that. So it was never no thing for me. So I just got used to older guys seeing that what my dad, and my uncles and them did. That's what I expected. And I realized that young boys, they don't do that. And I'm not saying all of them don't have fathers, but most of them don't. So they don't know how to treat you or how you should be treated. Most of them, they don't even know how to walk with you down the street.
Mm.
They're saying that you should be on the inside or even how to walk down the steps. Like you should be walking in front of me. They don't know things like that. Of course, some of them will know, like, oh, you can open the door and all that kind of stuff. I'm not here for feminism, and I know that's wrong. Ooh, child, don't post that.
No, talk about it.
She wants a classic man, a Jadena type.
I didn't sign up to be a feminist. People just be like, oh, you're a black woman. I don't want to be a strong black woman. I want to be a delicate little flower, okay? Open my door, carry my bag, pick me up. And that is something that when I'm being serious, I will never call you again. If I tell you that I want you to pick me up and you don't, I'm going to be looking at you crazy. Like, what you mean you don't want to carry me? I had somebody tell me, like, you got legs. And I was just like, oh, okay, yeah, that's our last day. I ain't never seen him again.
When you say carry,
I thought you were talking about a car. You're not talking about a car?
Give me a piggyback ride. Because I feel like it. And also, it sounds silly, but
you just say you talk to older guys, you're going to break. You can't do that. You can't have them.
They're not all broke down. They still working. These young men who can move stuff around. They're not dead. I didn't pick them out the nursing home. I'm not Nicole Smith out here.
I don't think I've ever heard that before.
Let me tell you why, because that sounds silly. Because I like intimacy. Intimacy does not always mean sex. So for me, an intimate moment, I could be sitting right here. If this one come back, I say, hey, carry me to the bathroom. Is it because the bathroom is not right there? No. We can spend, 30 seconds? That's funny. It's a giggle. It's key high. I get there and going about my business. I'm in the shower. I can say, you know what? Hey, I need help. Do I need help showering? No. Do I need you to dry me off? No. Do I need you to put lotion on me? I can do all those things by myself, but why should I have to? And vice versa. You're not getting on my back, but the rest of everything else I could do for you.
No, that's an interesting take on it. But
very interesting.
A lot of women can't be saying that to their man. Be like, come pick me up. like you gonna hurt yourself.
I ain't that damn big now. I weigh less than what's average, but I'm so sick. But I'm dating black guys. I'm not gonna snap you in my head. If you understand that I'm black, I got a little booty, but we're gonna be all right.
So do you watch? Let me ask this as we're on these type of topics. Do you watch Kevin Samuels at all? Have you seen any of the Kevin Samuels stuff?
I have. I don't watch them per se, but it has.
You've seen like clips.
Right. It's not something that I want to give a quick review to because for me it's utter and complete nonsense. I do feel like that man is a down low homosexual. I confirm or deny that, but I do feel like he may be gay. He has a lot of hate for women. And I don't know if his mother abused him or neglected him, but he has some issues that he really needs to seek mental help.
So I think with him, it's got to be like you have to eat the meat and spit out the bones. Like he says some things that make sense, but I think the clip
married, like that's my.
I think he was married before.
No matter who it is, male or female, when you're taking advice from these people, are they married?
Right.
Are they in the situation that they're telling you to be in? Have they ever been in that situation? Where are they now? If they were married and they are divorced, what happened?
But if they give sound, but if they can give sound information, like some things he says are interesting, like that they're conversation starters at least. Like, but I feel like a lot of people see the clips and they hate him on the clips because the clips are horrible. But if like I've watched some of like the actual videos from him, and some of the stuff he says, like on the Joe Budden podcast, like some of the stuff he says makes sense. It's not the most popular point of view.
No matter who it is, because a broken clock is always going to be right twice a day, right? Twice.
Right.
So it's not that everything he says is complete and utter garbage, but most of it is like
it's crazy.
Not, the way he's saying it's wrong, the way he's going about it is not right. And then these people that he's inciting, they're just sometimes they're dumber than him, honestly. And then they run around. So like I was watching a video earlier, and this guy harassing this woman in a grocery store. 2 Black people. She's minding her business. She's shopping. She said, "I got a boyfriend." He's still following her with the camera. So she like, "Do you want to pay for my groceries?" He's like, "That's what's wrong with you. You ain't loyal. How you got a man? You asked me to pay for your groceries. You must be broke." No, you're in here in her face. She told you she had a man. You're still here. She's trying to do anything to get you to go away. But now she a hoe and all this other kind of stuff because she asked you for some money. Now, was she doing something wrong? No, she was minding her business. What they got to do with her man? Would her man be mad if she like, listen, this man was bugging me. He brought me some groceries. I gave him somebody else's number. I'm quite sure he wouldn't be mad. Like, hey, probably don't do that again. Next time he probably go to the market with her or go to the market for her. But she should be able to shop in peace. When she told you, no, I'm not interested. I got a man. Why are you still here following her? And now you're mad because she asked you for something. You're taking up her time. Time is money. But don't you understand?
Yeah.
So do you feel like a man should take on certain roles as far as paying the bills, certain things like that?
My house.
So
and other people's houses, y'all can do what y'all want. Y'all can split 50-50, 25, whatever. In my house, the man does the things. And because at the end of the day, I'm not a man. You don't want me to be wearing the pants and to bossing you and telling you what to do. You want me to be feminine. You want me to be docile, right? So in order to get that, if you want an angel, I need to be in heaven. Why am I should have 0 stressors in my life. No, I'm not saying that I want you to do every single thing for me. No.
So you don't believe in working, or you do?
Run that back.
You believe in working?
Do I believe him? I'm not saying that she should. It depends on the people. Now, I'm saying if he got enough and he can afford for her to stay at home and y'all come to that decision as a couple, there are some people I know, the wives work. Like when I was in my house growing up, my mom and my dad worked. My dad paid the big bills. My mom did everything else. So my dad made sure that we had lights and mortgage and all that kind of stuff. And my mom paid like lights, groceries, our hair and stuff like that. But my dad did the man's stuff. So if there was something that needed to be killed or something like that, something needed to be fixed, my dad did that. My mom wouldn't be, I mean, my mom could use a hammer and stuff, but why should she? She got a husband.
Right.
So that
right.
so you
around, of course, my mom knows how to do those things so that we're not just up a creek, but
so is that okay now, as long as the man takes care of the big bills, like the mortgage?
I feel like it's what y'all can afford in y'all relationship. There is no one size fits all. If y'all both working at McDonald's, that's probably not gonna work. But you know, if what you want to say, that's cute.
But Kevin, like I've listened to a few of his stuff. He talks about that. He talks about that. Huh?
You have to listen to the man. No screamer to the man.
Oh. He was saying that if the men do everything, you shouldn't be screaming at the man and don't. As you can see, my nose ain't done. My hair ain't done. This is my hair, okay? So I got some words to say. So I'm gonna talk.
So are you okay if you say you do have a job? Are you okay with just giving him your paycheck?
My whole paycheck?
Yeah, your whole paycheck, and he'll give you an allowance.
He'll give you an allowance. Like,
because there are some, like my mom, my dad. My mom was better with the money. So my dad would give my mom his check. My mom would give my dad an allowance. But that changed because when I was younger, they would both keep their money, you know, however they wanted. But my dad was older than my mom, so he was retired first. So my mom, you know, she worked, she took on the bulk of the bills and stuff like that. And then my dad, she gave him an allowance.
Okay.
So it depends on what season you're in your relationship too, because I've been in relationships where the man made more than me, but he gave me his check and I gave him back, you know, okay, this is what you could spend for this week because I was just better with money. You know, no, I'm not trying to control you. I'm not telling you that, oh, you can't go here, you can't do this. I'm only giving you $50. I'm not your mom. No. And for me, I say you have to be fair. The way you treat the man is the way you want him to treat you if you know, if you were in that situation. So say your man loses his job and you taking on all those responsibilities. I'm not gonna be like, well, you ain't got no job, so I guess you ain't getting no haircut. This is no, like it's a team. Like that person on your team, you're not gonna do them dirty. At least you shouldn't.
Okay. I heard that story before and I was like, I don't know if I could ever do that. Like, or like what women would be comfortable.
Black women be holding black men down. If you really think about it, you got at least one cousin, auntie, homegirl who got a different man. Tyrone ain't had no job since y'all met him 15 years ago. He been on the couch playing video games. He drive her car like Jody and Baby Boy. We all know it. And she ain't gonna put him out because that's her man. Right?
But that's not on her though. That's on him. If he wants to
that's
be
on her because she can choose not to be used like that. She can leave him alone and find somebody who's her equal or higher. She chooses not to. Because I don't want, we get this rhetoric that a black woman will never, but we do it the most.
So are you saying like black women are holding black men back? Is that?
No, what I'm saying is like, because some people get to say like, oh, black women, all we care about is hair and nails and this and that. But
okay, I got you.
Most of them will, if you show them something, if they feel like they believe in you just a little bit, they're going to do whatever it takes for you to be comfortable. You look at this, something like, yeah, buy my mixtape. Ain't had a job since he was probably 18. Sir, you're 40. You're not going to make it.
So what if you came up on a bunch of money and your guy wanted to just quit his job and just, you know, you be the sugar mama?
Would you support his dreams?
Could he do that and just chill? Like
in this situation, absolutely. Only because he has a solid plan. And because I know how much it costs and how long it would take, and it's something I could see. But if he was his age and he told me like, all right, you got a bunch of money now, I'm gonna quit my job and become a rapper, that's dead.
Well, if he just want to chill.
Yeah, he just want to get back and relax. You don't want
damn the plan. We got money now. You got money, so we got money.
That's cute, but for how long?
Forever. Forever, ever.
Yeah, I feel like we're gonna have to get a 5-year plan together. Because at the end of the day, because then that would make me the head of the household. So if I'm the head of the household,
no. Why do you say that?
Whoa! Wouldn't you give him the? If he managed the money well, like don't he give the money? Like you give him the money, no?
Absolutely not.
He's still controlling the money.
It's y'all money.
Yeah.
Oh, child.
So you wouldn't work no more, but he would have to have a plan or a job or something?
I just feel like it's different between a man and a lady laying around because men and women, we have different, I'm not saying like men are dirty or anything, because maybe you would clean the house and cook and stuff like that, but also some people do it, but for me it's strange.
You would lose respect.
I don't see why as a man you would want to be doing the same things I would be doing all day. I don't want to do the same thing as a man all day. I don't know why you would want to be doing the same things that I'm doing.
You don't want a man to cook for you and clean?
No, thank you.
So what if he just said, yo, we could get a cleaner, we could get a cook. I'm just going to chill. Kick it with the homies.
Okay, but for how long? I'm not saying that you can never take a break. So if I had the money, maybe a year or two, maybe 3. But after that, what you doing? Because I'm gonna be very.
You see how older people retire and they travel to work. Like y'all can't just kick back and just enjoy life.
Ooh, yeah.
She don't believe in that. Doesn't sound like.
For a little while. But like
but
I said,
if y'all have that money, what is he working for? More money? If y'all have it.
I don't know. See, I'm the wrong person. Y'all gotta ask over. Ask Oprah how she do it with Stedman. I ain't made that kind of money yet.
Well, that's a whole nother story.
I think Stedman, he just do like fundraiser stuff.
Yeah, he probably just show up and take pictures. He probably don't even sleep in the same house. He probably got his own ring. Like
no, he got his own house. They don't stay in the same house.
Yeah, like she probably don't even see him like that. She probably only pull him out for events. Like in a situation like that, I would not want to be like Oprah. Like I want to really, really be in love. Like I really want to be like I want to be happy to see the person, want to be around them and stuff. I don't want to be.
But can you be in love if you're Oprah with Oprah's money?
But in that type of situation,
I had to find a man who was richer than Oprah, like I guess Elon Musk or something.
You're gonna be hard pressed.
But it's like a partnership. It's like a business, like marriage.
Yeah, but I don't want to be your boss. I don't want to have that. I don't want to be the man.
Not boss, partners.
It's not equal though. It's not equal. Whoever makes the most money is going to have the most power. I don't want the power like that. I don't want that because I know me. I don't think I'll be able to respect you that much.
Yeah, okay.
I respect you as a human, but respecting you as a man is totally different.
Well, what makes a man? That's a question. Is it the salary?
That's situational. That depends on the situation. That depends on the person. That depends on what you're doing, where you at, your environment.
If I'm making $15,000 a year, am I being too audacious to go for a woman that's a doctor that's making $100,000 a year?
Absolutely not. Because if she's really all that in the bag of chips, you're not going to be making $15,000 long. She should be helping you either start a business or figure out your next steps. Your goal should not be to be stuck at $15,000. No. But
business isn't for everyone, right?
So you'll figure something out. Because maybe she got it where she can make her head of security or something like that. Y'all figure something out. You're not still going to make it $15,000.
But if she's just a doctor and she don't own the hospital, like she can't elevate you that much. She can't
not to 100,000, right?
So that's like when you see these old actresses with these young backup dancers, and it don't last. Like once that's over, once the excitement of him being new and young wears off within a year or 3 years.
But that's good for him.
Because in that time, if you're not sewing into him to help him get to the next level, you're gonna have to leave him there.
But once he gets to the next level, he's gonna leave her.
But who says? If he really is loyal and he really loves her, if it's girl love there, that should be fine.
But how is it? That's not real love though. If she's using him for if an older woman is going after a younger man, she's going after him. I don't think it's not from love all together. But the intentions are married. Let's take it back to Married at First Sight. Like they're looking for love, but they gotta be attracted to the person first. Like they're not just going for whatever the person. Well, yes, always.
The host of the show, Jamie cried when she because her husband was ugly, and I don't mean to talk about it, but she's not pregnant. But they're still married. They got a few kids now. They're still together. It's like 8 years later. But she's crying. The man was so ugly. She was in tears on the floor. Her husband was ugly. Okay.
Did that really happen?
Paige, when he said, "Oh shit."
Did that really happen? Oh, Paige, yeah. Well, they're not together.
Chris and Paige are not, but Jamie and Doug are still married. They were in the first season. She's the host of the little things when they be talking to a random white lady. That's Jamie. She cried. Her husband was so ugly. They're still married. So attraction, you can learn to love anybody. Because let me tell you a trick. If you
you can't. No, you can't.
Ugly or beautiful.
No, you can't.
Somebody and they ugly, you'll be able to.
That's a lie.
Like about them. You stare about somebody you think is beautiful, you'll be able to be like, oh, you're kind of funny looking.
That's a lie. I'm sorry. That's such a lie.
Every time.
That's such a lie.
It'll work. You will be able to find something that you think is ugly, and you'll be able to find something that you think is beautiful. It just depends on who you're looking at.
But
everybody has a flaw.
But yeah, they do. But that's not going to make something last. If someone's attractive, I can find things that will make me want to stay. If they're not attractive, that's the big. That's probably.
But if they're attractive and you can't hold a conversation with them, how long that's gonna last?
It's easier for a man to find things than for the other way around.
Right.
No, it's no. What do you mean?
I mean,
things?
it's easier for a man.
No,
Yeah,
it's
you're
easier
right.
for men because if you think about it, a lot of
It's easier for women to find the good.
Unattractive person.
But some of their wives and girlfriends that they pick, they're not educated. They're not particularly bright. They don't have good conversation. Look at Melania. What do you think she got to say? And she might not be dumb, but I'm just saying. What do you think she has to say? What do you think she offers to a conversation?
Yeah, she was.
She doesn't have to. She's not supposed to offer anything to the conversation.
He was looking for a model type.
You know what you bring to the table. But like it's different though. Like if an attractive girl works at the dollar store or McDonald's, a guy has no problem dating a girl who's like that. A woman's not going to date it. A woman's not going to date a guy that's working at Dollar Tree.
That's true. My favorite example of that is Tia and her husband. I mean Tia, the twins, Tia and Tamara. Tia picked her husband up at the bus stop. He's still a struggling actor. Tia left him to pieces.
He's making money though now.
He's not making Tia money.
He's making money though.
He's not making Tia's money. Look at Cardi B and her husband. I'm not saying I'm wrong about neither one of them, but Cardi is the more notable. Look at Beyonce and Jay-Z. Come on now.
Whoa, what?
What are you saying?
What are you saying?
Cardi and Offset on the same level? No,
I don't think so.
And he was on. But he was on a bigger level when they met, though.
And he writes for her and stuff like that.
So she didn't just like, oh, well, now I'm big. I don't need you no more. She's
you think Beyonce?
Yeah, same thing with Jay-Z and Beyonce. Beyonce don't need Jay-Z for nothing. She could have left him 95 times. That man cheating on her. He ugly. I mean, yeah, he got a little bit.
There's no such thing as an ugly billionaire.
He didn't have $1 billion when he was cheating on her. And he only got $500 million because the other half paid. Let's talk about that. Look at Kim leaving Kanye. She don't need his money. She good. Matter of fact, he was in debt. Kim got him out of debt, and look at Kanye now. He surpassed her.
So what are you saying? You're saying these women don't need?
But they do.
It's not that we don't pick up men that work at the dollar store. That's not true. We do.
So that's not a good example because they are millionaires.
If Kanye had $8 million and Kim had 50. He working at the dollar store to her. No.
So would you ever talk to a guy that worked at Dollar Tree? He was cashing you out at the Dollar Tree. Would you talk to him?
Not at this age. If he was the manager or something, yes.
No, he's a cashier.
If he was just a regular cashier.
Or he's at McDonald's and he's at the drive-thru. You wouldn't talk to somebody.
At this big age? No.
At what age would that be okay? A teenager?
Not even no teenage stuff. Like in my earlier 20s, I'm too close to 30 to be making them kind of decisions. Sorry.
Even if the guy has a bunch of ambition?
If his ambition was really all that, why he's still just a cashier? Why he ain't shift manager yet? You know, why he ain't the night manager? Why he ain't...
Look at Tyler Perry. His come up was, it took a while.
Yeah.
He was homeless. He was living out his car.
See, you're talking about the black women.
I'm not saying I'm not writing them off 100%.
You were talking about them black women that stay with the men. They see the ambition. They see the ambition that these men have.
All the way. Oh my God, no, never talk to me. I would keep in contact with them, check up on them, how life is going. And if it's 6 months, you're still just a cashier. You ain't got that much ambition. Now, if I check back in 6 months and he like, yeah, I'm the manager now. You know, I'm about to be the franchise manager. I'm about to be this. I'm like, oh yeah, he do it. That's different. Not just because he working McDonald's, I'm gonna turn my nose up and leave him there. No, I'm gonna get his number. I'm being his life. I'm gonna see what's going on. They say he's not going on. I'm like, oh yeah, that's still there then.
Did you hear the story about Michelle Obama where they saw someone that she used to date and the guy was a chef and Obama said, oh, if you were with him, you would be the, wife of a chef. And she was like, no, if I was him, he would be the president. Do you feel like that's what a woman should bring to a relationship? They should upgrade.
That's a bar.
Let me tell you what's wrong with it. Because I've done that myself. I've had plenty of my girlfriends do it. If the people don't want it, they're gonna run away from you, honey. They're not gonna like it. They're gonna find every excuse because you bossy, you think you their mother. They gotta want to climb the ladder. If they don't want to climb the ladder, they just want to be stuck at their 15,000. You got to leave them at their 15,000.
But so you don't think a woman can upgrade a man?
Yes. Even men who are in higher positions than you, doing better than you. Like my ex, he was in the military, he had all kinds of awards and competitions before I ever even came along. One day I realized he was doing something and I thought it was the dumbest thing I ever seen in my life. So I just simply said, why don't you do it like this? So he took it up the chain of command, and sure enough, they started doing it like that. He got awards for that. Now look at you. All because I said like that seems stupid. Maybe let's not do that.
So in this Michelle story, I like that story. I agree with what you're saying though. If you don't want it, you can't make it happen.
You can't do that for everybody though. You gotta know who you're in a relationship with. Not everybody wants it. Some people just like they're good at what they got and they want you to accept that and only that. But let's say you marry that man at $15,000. Let's say there's a pay grade, he might be making $20,000. Y'all got 5 kids and it's 10 years later. Y'all struggling. And that's all he want to do? He gotta want something better for the both of you.
It's hard out here though. What if he can't? What if that's all he can do?
So you trying to tell me, as long as you've been working, you don't think you ready to have a wife and kids and a family? You don't think you can be in charge of nothing yet? If your wife's, because listen, I can count. So if your wife say, I'm gonna sit down and I'm like going back to work. I'm gonna just have these babies and stay home. You gonna like, you gotta get a job? No, you gonna figure out how to make sure she can stay home and be comfortable.
That would be a conversation before all them babies happen though.
Yeah, that's
something that you know going into it. You ask the people, like, what do you want? Like, that's up front.
Some people change their minds. Some women, after having the baby, they say, you know what, it's not in me no more.
Because if it's like that,
but if it's a line in the sand and you are hard set, I don't want kids, and she's hard set, I do want kids, y'all should be in a relationship together. But if you kind of want to go either way, maybe, and you kind of maybe, y'all figure that out later. But after, it's important to have those conversations early on so you know what you're getting into.
So they want to. So if we decided just one kid, and then we end up having like 2 or 3. If she's supposed.
How would you get to 2 or 3? Because if your wife says she don't want to be on birth control, she don't want to get her tubes tied, it'd be you and the man to go ahead and get the vasectomy. Now, if after the vasectomy, y'all have some oops babies, that's different. But if y'all take the proper precautions and everybody is doing what they're supposed to do, that's different. But it can't just be like, well, I said I only wanted 1, but what did you do to stop the rest?
Got a point there.
You have a point, but so you put it on the guy. That,
right. Because there are some women, it does crazy things to their body. They can't be on birth control. There are some women who, if they get their tubes tied, she can grow a crazy mustache and beard. Do you want that? Are you still gonna love her if she look like a sideshow freak? You still gonna want her? It's easier for you to get the second.
But I feel like a lot of men wouldn't do that though. Like feel like it because you feel like you're losing a piece of yourself.
She can literally turn into a man for messing with her parts. Are you still gonna love her? No.
I feel like that's rare. That's a rare example.
Let me tell you, most women, when we go to the salon, get our eyebrows and stuff done, we get our mustache and our beard wigs too. You just don't know because we keep it up. Let me go for like 2 months without doing nothing to my mustache. You're going to see it. It's not going to be crazy thick, but you might zane me. You're going to notice it.
Or would that be the guy's fault for not paying for that?
Nah, I'll go buy a razor from the dollar store. You got to shave that facial hair.
Or something. There are cost-effective ways to that.
Okay, yeah. Fair enough.
You have to go to the salon for everything.
No, that's interesting though. But I don't know. I feel like the woman would have to get the tubes tied or burnt off or something like that. Like.
That's hard. So you want her to suffer because this is so easy for you. You just down for a day. All you need is some ice. Shoot me down for a minute.
Hey, that's what PTO is for.
And then it's gonna change her hormones and everything. So you think you want that. Then next month she turned into somebody you ain't never met, and then y'all get divorced. There was this lady, I think she was on TikTok. She had lost her arms and her legs because her husband said he wanted more kids. She went got her tubes tied, and she had some kind of it went wrong. And she had her arms and her legs cut off. He left her with them kids. That's so funny. I was so mad. Like, I went to find her husband myself. Like, who did this your wife come back for?
I'm not supposed to laugh at that, but what you expect him to do?
Why did he leave? It's his fault. You
Yeah,
told
he
her
doesn't laugh. That's
and he
wrong.
went wrong. She lost her arms, her legs. You gonna leave her with the babies?
It depends on how soon after, but you got to know it's the timeline. Like, it's a timeline on that.
She believes in traditional
Because
Christian.
if my wife loses her arms and legs, God forbid, like if you expect me to stay, then you got to know that, like I might be married to you, but I'm going to be married to someone else, or I'm going to have someone.
Better or worse than sickness and health. That's not sickness or better or worse. You're breaking your vow to God, not just your wife.
Then I get a divorce.
So you believe in divorce?
Huh?
You believe in divorce?
If there's no other alternative.
That's not what the Bible said. Ain't adultery the only way out? So if she ain't cheat on you, what you leaving her for?
No, that's back biblical times. That's when they would kill you for cheating on you.
The Old Testament is still in the same Bible as the New Testament. Did they change it?
No. So are you?
What part they read?
But you're asking if I believe in divorce. I would never want to get a divorce. But certain situations.
Outside of adultery, you would?
Adultery is your only way out. So if she lose her arms and legs, that's not sickness and health for better or for worse. You don't love her then. Especially if it's because of a consequence of something that you made her do. You would still leave her? That's crazy.
Listen. That's like a 1%, 0.1% thing that happens. Like, it ain't my fault that it happened, though. Hypothetically. But God forbid my wife loses her arms and legs. I still love her, you know. I might have to take.
I don't want to be with her no more.
I couldn't.
How's she gonna take care of the kids? You gonna take her kids
and
take her kids? You let her with the kids, which was wrong. But what if you have to take her kids because she can't physically care for herself or her kids? So you're gonna take everything away from her because of something that you asked her to do?
No, I told you we could still be married. She could still live together, but I'd be married to someone else.
You do your thing, I do mine.
So they ain't gonna be married like an old person, like back in the 60s.
No, and also that's a big thing too. It depends on how soon we are into the marriage. Like, if this happens in the first 10 years, that's still enough time for me to bounce. 10
years. That's a long time.
That's still enough time for me to bounce. If I'm old, if I'm in my old age and we've been together 20, 30 years strong, I'm staying.
Well, after that, she's old. She probably done having kids anyway. So within 10 years.
Within 10 years.
So Kenya, you're saying you don't believe in divorce at all?
I didn't say that. I'm just saying, in this situation, that's just like if you tell a man to get a vasectomy and then he go and all his stuff fall off, you gonna leave him? Or if it don't work no more after that, they hit the wrong thing, you can leave a man because he impotent now. That's your fault. You gotta figure something out.
So you're gonna leave him? You would have a side dude.
Now we got to do the therapies and stuff like that first, and then that's something that we talk about as a couple. Like,
no, you got to do that behind his back.
Wait,
he ain't going to go for that.
Wait, therapy?
No, you never know. He might be okay.
Physical therapy or like therapy?
Try everything. But
I wouldn't even go to.
I'm not
going to therapy. How do you feel? How do I feel that my wife don't have no arms and legs? I don't feel great about that.
I'm going to talk to a therapist. I want to listen.
No. Talk to a therapist about what?
Listen, it's something that I always do with everything I do, right? So, like, if I break up with somebody, I go to therapy, and I ask to get my cards done because my cards be knowing what I need, right? So, I get my cards done, and I go to therapy because I got something to talk about. It might not feel like it's traumatic or dramatic, but I can definitely learn something. There's something there that I can be made aware of that I can do better going forward.
That's good.
That's noble. That's good.
Every time, not every time. If it was a serious relationship, like if I dated you for like 3 months, that don't count. But if it's a serious 1, 2, 3, yes, absolutely. I see a therapist and I get my cards done. Like, listen, this is what happened for the therapist, and I go get my cards done. So what's next?
No, that's interesting. So roles reversed. You're dating someone, he loses his arms and legs. You still staying with him?
No, because there's no covenant.
You're married. You're married. You're staying. No arms, no legs. What kind of life is that?
He loses his arms and legs. What happened? Because look, I mean, you watch TV. There's plenty of people like.
It don't matter what. I don't care what happened. I don't care what happened. I don't care. Like that's the outcome.
I do care what happened. I need to.
That's the outcome. No matter what happened, that's the outcome.
I do care because what if you were somewhere you ain't had no business being doing something I told you not to be doing? And
doesn't matter.
I need to know.
You made the covenant though, for better or for worse. If they lost
it in a noble way, they still lost it.
Okay, so like if he was gonna award something, he got blown up and come back to me in pieces. Maybe I see. I ain't gonna say I just leave. I'm like, oh, so you just gonna come back off the plane with no arms, no legs? We're gonna figure something out. If it works, if it don't, but you gotta go through
so figure something out. So that's exactly what I was saying before. Like
you gotta go through all the steps, including
you saw the Tyler Perry How Did I Get or Why Did I Get whatever Diary of a Mad Black Woman. Like actually, I don't even know if that's a good example.
No, but the one with Helen and Old Boy.
But if you have to push your spouse around in a wheelchair, like you're gonna have some. She has somebody else.
You see what she did? She was like, you know what? I'm gonna be here because it's the right thing to do. She beat him up, so she got tired of beating him up.
That wasn't a loving marriage, though.
I don't need this.
But if you're in a loving marriage.
If you're in a loving marriage, then you would do still what Helen did. You just leave the part where you tried to drown him. You would treat him right. You wouldn't be eating him. You're gonna make sure he eat. You're gonna treat him good.
I don't know. That's an extreme thing, but I don't know.
You're gonna treat them right back. You're not gonna be like, well, you treat me bad all this time. So
we talked about losing both your arms and legs. My wife lose her arm, we threw.
Well, okay, what if it's not that serious? What if she lose a finger? Just one.
I
don't know.
I don't believe you, Ken.
I don't expect you to be like this. Amrit, you be careful because I don't want to be the reason why nobody wife pouring hot grits on them, okay?
No. I don't agree with Ken. I think for better or worse. Like I really believe in that.
No, I believe in that too. But there are situations that happen that.
I'm saying if you love that person, that means you love them enough to do life with them. And life is crazy, it's messy, you don't know what's going to happen next.
Life isn't perfect.
Life isn't perfect, but
I mean,
I don't know. That's why I haven't taken those vows yet. But if I do take them vows, we're gonna have to put something in there. It ain't gonna be.
How you add extra stuff
to the vows? Like they say, you write your own vows. It's gonna be some different vows in there.
Do y'all believe in relationship goals?
Why y'all get married? That means you don't love them enough to be with them.
That's not true. So you think a prenup is not like people shouldn't sign prenups? So
it depends on the situation. It depends on what it say. If it's fair, I say yes. If it's not fair, then no. If it's very one-sided to the left or to the right, no. If the woman has more money and she's like, well, if you cheat on me, you get nothing, or this isn't, that's not fair.
Why not?
With the men, like, you don't want it to be where it's not fair to the other person because they still doing.
But it's not fair that the person cheated.
Just like Jeff and Mackenzie, the Bezos. I don't know if Bezos is or whatever. He didn't build Amazon by himself. He built it with other people, but that's his wife. She was his sounding board. She probably came up with different ideas. She wasn't doing the physical work, but it made sense that he gave her that money.
Did it?
Does it though?
She helped. She was helping.
Did it?
You think she did nothing? You think the whole time he was building Amazon, she wasn't making?
You can say you could. I'm not gonna say she did nothing, but did she do half?
Yeah, I don't know if she did 50%.
Did she do half?
I would say she did half of his half. Yes.
No.
Absolutely.
No.
What if they had a cook? What if they had a house cleaner?
I'm saying in the beginning, before they had any of that.
Regardless.
In the beginning, when he was building in the Genesis.
Regardless. But regardless, like you see with Dr. Dre and his wife, she didn't produce them beats. Well,
she wasn't there from day one, so that's different.
It doesn't matter. You could be there day 1, day 20.
No, it doesn't matter.
You're not getting all that.
Somebody that was with you from day one when you ain't had nothing. Then somebody with you when you came up. Say you was riding a bike when y'all met. Say you was 28 years old. You was riding a bike, 28 miles to work. You ain't had nothing.
Just because she saw the potential, don't mean that she deserves half of what I do. If I'm the one who's executing it, and I'm the one who ultimately gets that money or whatever it is, that don't mean she deserves half because she was with me from the start. That don't mean nothing.
What? You wouldn't be who you were if it
Nothing.
was not her. If you were with somebody else, you wouldn't be the same person with the same
That's
house.
not true.
That is true.
That's not true.
That's very true.
No, it's not.
Like Jordan was going to be Jordan regardless, like who he was dating.
No,
Kobe was going to be Kobe.
His wife was like, listen, you know, instead of being in the house, instead of being with me, why don't you go outside? What if she was helping? What if she was hyping him up? What if she was outside in the cold? Like, yeah, shoot them baskets. As opposed to some wife that was just like, you know what, I'm gonna go shopping, whatever.
They found them after they were already hyped up basketball players. They weren't in the NBA, but they knew they was going.
Aisha and the Curry in
high school. That's a good topic.
They was together. They probably would not be the same people who dated somebody else, because people who got your best interest at heart is gonna make sure you don't do nothing to mess that up. Not even because if they're in the picture or not, they want to keep you on the right path.
He might be in a better position without her.
People, they would probably still be great, but it wouldn't be the same level of greatness. They would not be the same. The outcome would be different. She's
a little jealous of his fame. He might be in a better position if he has somebody like a Savannah.
Well, what's different with that is she was supposed to be an actress. Wasn't she on Disney Channel or something like that? And it just never took off for her. She's successful in selling cookbooks
but she's successful because of him. She's successful because of him, not because of her. She ain't no great cook. Before this, she wouldn't. Without Steph, nobody buying her cookbooks.
I didn't eat the lady food. I don't know. She might be.
She wouldn't be there without him.
It's the Curry name that made her.
His name that made her, and his connections that made her.
He would probably still be famous, but he wouldn't be the same if he didn't have her. It would not be the same. He would have different children.
You can't say that.
The same. Like they wouldn't have that family. They come as a package, as the family. That's what they sell in Wholesome. If he had a different wife with different kids, it wouldn't be the same package. It would just be Steph Curry, probably. It wouldn't be the same.
What do you think? What do you think about Will Smith and Jada and that whole dynamic?
Tough topic.
It's tough because I like them as people. Do I feel like they should be in a relationship together? No. I feel like great friends.
She ruined him.
I feel like they ruined each other, because let's not act like he was all nice and cookie cutter clean. Let's get that out.
He was more sane before she came around.
No, what happens is we know more of their business. We don't know what he was doing back then, because don't forget he was married to somebody else when he met her. So we don't know what he was like.
Listen.
Because he surely left his wife for Jada, didn't he? Because Sharice said so out her own mouth.
No, they were getting. He said they were
getting divorced anyway.
She was trying to fight for their marriage. She thought she had a chance.
Yeah, she did think she.
He was already like, listen, I'm gonna be over here doing this.
But I think Jada.
I probably could have worked that out.
I think Jada messed him up.
No, I really feel like.
And you see how she messed him up within the last year or two. Like she messed him up even more.
Or did she just say out loud what was already happening? We don't know what he's doing to her. We just know her side.
In the book, he said that he was on a roll, just straight number ones. Every movie, everything that he did was number one. And he said Jada kind of was a little jealous of it, of the fame, because she was big in, her day.
She was not. Jada Pinkett is big to the Black community.
She was Black famous.
They started off at the same level, but Will went.
They didn't start off at the same level.
You could say they started off at the same level.
He started off bigger than her.
He was just a rapper.
But his music expanded more than just Black people.
Where would they know her from?
The what is it? Woo?
From a different world. That's where.
And when I say white people, I mean like traditional white people. They don't know who Jada Pinkett is.
Yeah, they don't. The Matrix.
Wife.
Yeah, they want to know her.
She's Black famous. She's a D-list celebrity. She's a lot of things to Black people, and I love Jada Pinkett to death, but she's a treasure to us. But
not even to us. I don't even think she's.
I don't think she's treasured. Without Will, she would be Vivica Fox, or less than that. She would be a struggling Black actress.
You don't think she'd be a Gabrielle Union?
What is Gabrielle Union?
She's like a strong C+
actress.
Yeah, I give you that. I'll give you a C+.
She's like a good C+.
She's a horrible actress.
She's a personality, though. She's a whole personality.
We like her.
But she's a horrible actress.
But even that, talent aside, she's
because she's
you know
attractive.
her. She's meeting with presidents.
She used to be beautiful before she's not ugly now, but she used to be like before she did all that extra stuff to herself.
Who?
Jada Pinkett.
Oh yeah, Jada was pretty. Vivica was pretty, but now they're not.
I mean,
Vivica looks awful, but that's what happens. That's what happens to a lot of them.
So you feel Will was on another level?
He's always been on another level.
I feel like she was doing something different than what he was doing. I feel like he dumped himself down to fit into Jada's box instead of trying to pick Jada up to where he was. He was so busy about trying to be Tupac instead of being Will. He said that himself. Had he been Will the whole time, he could have been more successful. It's not that
he was successful though. He was
been better.
And he picked her up.
He tried to pick Jada up to where he was going. Why
he picked her up?
Being somebody else. He say all the time, like, oh, you know, the Tupac, this, like, why you?
That's her fault. That's her fault. That's her fault.
If he realized that he couldn't measure up, he could have been like, hey, yo, I can never be him. So sorry. They could have ended that at any time. That's what I'm saying now. I really feel like their relationship has ran its course. I don't feel like they're bad people, but I do not believe that they should be together any longer.
How do you compete with a ghost though, if you're Will? Every birthday, every year.
You don't compete with the ghost. You leave that lady where you found her.
So as soon as she brought up Pac, he should have said, nah, that you can't do that at all.
No, not even as soon as. Once he realized, like, okay, this is a thing. I'm not going to be able to be Tupac. This is what she wants. This is me. This is him. He see the differences. You're not going to be able to change yourself.
But when he was alive, they had that same relationship, apparently. Her and
Pac. They started dating when he was alive, right?
Yeah.
I believe so, but listen. At some point, he realized that he was not what she wanted. He chose to stay and try to mold himself into something he was not. And it's He knew she was looking for. He knew what she wanted. He lied to himself that he was it. He knew he could not be it, but he told himself he could, and that he can't. And they should not be together, which is why their marriage is open and they have all these extra other people. If they were really happy, their marriage would be closed and traditional. I'm not saying that there's a right or a wrong way, but what I'm saying is that is messy.
I don't think they would have ever been traditional though, because of her. Like she didn't believe in the traditional.
And again, he don't have to agree to that. If he knows that that's not what he wants, but he's just trying to hold on to her, he can say, listen, I'm sorry. Like, I don't hate you as a person. This is not going to work. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. I respect that, but we're going to have to part ways. That's okay. That's okay. Yeah. That's not a failure. That's not like they got divorced because they couldn't stand each other. It just wasn't working. It was never.
He might really love her though.
But it's not reciprocated.
Maybe she loves him too, a part of him, but
it seemed like it's like brotherly love that she has for him.
It looked
that's a homie.
No more what she did, and we don't know like really what he was doing. So it looked like she just be out here dragging him, making him look crazy.
That's what it looks like.
I don't think so. I don't think that man would just. I can't see him let her do that to him. I feel like it's some stuff we don't know about, and he's probably quiet because he don't want his stuff to come out.
You think he's?
She not doing all that, and he not doing nothing. That's Will Smith.
Can you bring up dead homies though, or dead boyfriends?
She do all the time.
Is that out of pocket?
Yes.
Even though he's Tupac.
I don't care if it was Barack Obama. Like.
That is something. That's something that came up recently. I think there was a female, and she was getting married to a man, and he ended up dying. I don't know what the cause was, but he died. So she found someone else, met someone else. I think they got married, but they go visit the boyfriend or the fiance or the guy she was with who died. They visit his grave together. Is that?
That's cute, but for how long?
Never. It should be a never.
I oblige you because everybody got their own feelings they need to work through, and I'm gonna go with you because I want to see what that relationship was like. I want to see how you are when you go to that grave. I want to see like what was that person to your life. But after a little while, we're not gonna keep doing this. If you want to be with that person, I can kill you now and bury you next time. That's not gonna work for me. I don't care if the person's dead. No.
I don't.
So death do its part, and if death did you part, why are you doing all this? That's no.
I don't know if that's something I could do ever. Like if they propose that idea.
I'm curious and I'm nosy. When I tell you, like, I want to talk to your exes. I want to see how you were with them. Like, all they come, so I want to be like, oh, so I've had like my ex-boyfriend's new girlfriends call me like, yeah, this and this, and I'll be like, really? You know, he used to do so and so with me. Like, so that's just a character trait. No, he did that with me.
He allowed you to speak with his ex-girlfriends?
Did he allow it? No. Did it happen? Yes. I'm not hard to find. So, if you're looking for me. It's happened to me on several occasions. And at first I was kind of like, girl, it's weird. But then I realized you can learn a lot.
You're supposed to hang that phone up immediately. You're not supposed to entertain those phone calls.
Right.
Let me tell you why I do it. Because there's no guidebook and like you don't know. So if somebody has a question, I'm gonna be like, girl, you on your own. Like he and me, and they don't like, that's weird. If you call me and you're respectful, I'm gonna hear you out. Like, girl, what's the issue? What you got to say? And I could be like, yeah, I went through that, or no, like that's crazy. I don't know about that. Maybe, I'm gonna give a little advice. But I'm not gonna be one-sided, like, no, he did me dirty, so he's just gonna be a dog forever. No.
So if an ex calls you and y'all talk, are you gonna let him know that you all had a conversation?
Listen, that's their business. I'm not gonna get in the middle.
What?
You did that when you spilled the beans.
What?
All my block list. I'm not always with you. She's not my ex. Like, she's not on the block list. You're on the block list. So that's between you and her. I don't have nothing to do with that.
So you wouldn't tell him that y'all spoke?
Absolutely not, because that means I gotta unblock you. I don't want you to think we friends. Mm-mm. No.
No. Would you tell the guy you're dating that you talked to his ex?
Oh, like if I'm in a relationship, it depends on how the conversation went. If the conversation was regular, it was nothing like she was acting crazy or like, girl, he did so and so. Because some people are haters and they're going to tell you all the bad stuff to make you not want the person because they still want the person. So for something like that, no. But if she's regular, like if she's like a nobody, like they ain't got no kids or nothing, like, girl, okay. But I'm gonna take heed to what she said. I'm gonna take what makes sense and I'm gonna leave the rest. But I'm gonna keep that as a something in my little playbook for myself for later. I'm not gonna be
you're not gonna tell him.
No. I'm gonna take what she said and I'm gonna pay attention and see if you still have these traits, if it's something I should be worried about. I'm gonna pay attention. She helping me. So you think I'm gonna give up my source? That's crazy. So, now you're gonna let her talk. You're gonna know how to
that's so wrong.
How can you? What if she said something like, "Yo, he gets drunk and beats me"? Like, what would you even do with that information?
I'm gonna drink with him out in public. I'm not gonna drink with him in the house. I'm gonna and if you be abusing the wait staff, you throwing glasses and stuff. Oh, shit, here. I ain't gonna give you the chance to knock me upside the head.
Oh, that's an interesting response. I don't know. I would feel some type of way if I found out that.
I would say I am quiet unless it's something I have to speak up about. Just like with my daughter's dad and whatever relationship he's in or whatever, I would be like, girl, let me tell you this, and this. After a while, like if you're gonna be here, you around my kid and stuff like that, like, yeah, girl, we can talk. Certain things are going to come up, but I'm gonna try my hardest not to bash him to you because my version of what I had with him and his version of who he is now, so much time has passed, he should be two different people. But if he's still the same person, girl, you got some other issues you need to look out for.
That's a good response.
So we're gonna stick to what the
I respect it. I don't know though. If an ex calls and you don't hang up immediately though. If an ex calls you and you don't hang up immediately.
And I want to hear what she got to say.
So you don't need to hear a word that come out her mouth.
They actually reach out to you. You don't want to hear what he got to say? What if it's helpful?
Nah. Why? How'd you get my number?
Listen, the internet is a powerful thing. He probably knows somebody that knows. You never know who.
Right.
Sometimes, like, look at Pam and Gina. Gina was never prettier. Gina used to dress wag. Her hair used to be crazy. Pam could sing better. They used to really be having. I'm like, listen, Gina maybe can sing, but come on, compared to Pam,
no, she never looked better than Pam.
She never looked better. She never dressed better. She was
just she never looked better than Cherie. Is that her name? AJ Jackson on Friday?
AJ Johnson.
AJ Johnson. on House Party.
Yeah.
She never looked better than her either.
It's because she was light skinned.
She is the red bone.
That is her. I mean, other things about her are nice, but she's light skinned. But that's it. You know, a lot of light skinned people are boring to look at. They don't have anything that's like, oh, that's really nice. Like, at least if you're darker skin, like, you got something. Like, that's nice on you. Like,
I'm not going to say that.
You're looking like paper to me. Like,
there's some. You're looking like paper. That's hilarious.
I mean, because paper is not ugly, it's not cute, it's just paper. It's just there. It's only ugly if you put something on it. Like, nothing about the person is cute or ugly. They're just paper.
They're just there. No, that's interesting.
Because most of the light-skinned people, honestly, in my opinion, and I'm not just saying this because I'm dark-skinned, they look like they need to be colored in. Like, darker, they would look better. Like, being light-skinned, I don't know. Like, they just be looking a little bit like they missing something. Like,
so on this topic, because topics come up as we're talking. You're saying it looks like they're missing something. I see there's a lot of light-skinned Black women who are sort of like the figures of like the Black movement now, that it looks like the Angela Rise. You see people like that. But I always thought that some people like that who are light-skinned, who want to be like in that position, wish they were darker skinned.
And that is exactly why.
I feel like they hate their skin.
You know why? Because I actually know a lot of people who are like that, and it's bizarre to watch. They do all this extra like Black power, this and that, and it's like you don't have to compensate. Like, we still make you Black. You could be yourself. You don't gotta do all that extra stuff. You don't gotta be jumping up and down, hooting and hollering.
Mm-hmm. Sean King's.
Is he Black?
I don't even know if he's Black.
Yeah, I don't think he's Black. I think he's a wigger.
But he came.
Energy. Like,
But he came out with a story because people were questioning that, and then they showed that his dad was white. But then I think
his mom white? Is his mom Black?
His mom's white, but I think his dad he didn't know who his dad was, but his mom said he was Black, and I think something proved that his dad was Black, or
his dad might be Black, because there are people my color. I mean, plenty of white people in my family. I'm not gonna be like, oh, that's my cousin. Look at me and my cousin. I'm white. Like, I'm gonna be Black because I'm just Black, and I just feel better in my skin as a Black woman. I would feel absolutely crazy walking around my 23andMe. Like, see, I'm 19% this, 7% this. I ain't Black. That's dumb. Like, I'm not finna do that.
That's what Tay Diggs did, right?
Tay Diggs is a weirdo, honestly.
He said he's not Black. He said he's chocolate.
And he wants his kid. My sons are biracial. Call them biracial. You're just a weirdo. So
Tay Diggs, yeah, and he's the one. His wife looked like a man, right? Oh, I know who you're talking about. It wasn't him. It was somebody else whose wife people were clowning because they said,
was it Carlton?
No, it wasn't Carlton.
No.
Carlton, they said Carlton was mad. He said people were shocked, or people didn't treat him.
We did not. He's a liar, and the truth ain't in him. He's gonna go to hell.
They said people would treat him differently or something because he married a white woman, and people are like, Carlton, we would expect nothing less from you.
A Black lady, that would surprise me. Same thing like Childish Gambino or Jordan Peele. There's some people you just look at and be like, oh yeah, your wife is white. And then you see them with a Black lady, and it's like, oh, I was wrong.
Right.
I would not expect certain people to be with, and I understand why. I'm not like, you can only be with people your same race. I don't believe that. You can do whatever you want in your life. For me, I would like to have Black children with Black men. But that's me. Everybody else can do what they want to do.
They said Carlton got the whitest Black family.
Ancestors, am I going to have 4 Black grandparents? Maybe and maybe not. But for me, we're going to be Black. Whatever people do is they.
Right. Yeah. But it's because I see people like Tay Diggs or people like Carlton, and I'm like, I don't know, because some people have like they have a lot of Black family, and I'm like, what What made them not want to marry Black? I don't know.
Like, listen, and I get this example all the time, Tia and Tamara, because I love Tia. I can't stand Tamara. And I used to like Tamara better. But once they came out with their own reality show, I realized that Tamara had something to prove. Like, I don't know if she wanted to be white or what, but she got this superiority complex check, like she's better than Tia, and I don't like that.
No, Tia was universally known as the prettier twin.
They're identical twins.
No, they weren't.
Exactly alike.
No, they don't.
That makes her more appealing.
No. People say that twins.
Yeah, it's personality.
People say that twins. No. People say that twins look exactly alike, but there's always a difference. Like, you can always tell the difference. Tamara had the mole, and Tamara wasn't as pretty as Tia.
Because of a mole?
No, she just didn't have a prettier face.
That made her like pretty. When I was little, I used to like Tamara better because I used to want that little beauty mark.
Tia had a prettier face than Tamara. They didn't look identical. Tia was prettier.
You can tell the difference, but I do think that they look very.
So if you look at them now, who's prettier? Who's prettier now?
Tia, but that's because I like Tia's personality better.
But Tia's always been prettier than Tamara.
See, I don't think so because watching Sister, I used to really like Tamara better.
I think you like Tamara's personality better when they were.
What it was. But now, like when they got older, I'm like, no, you can pick Tamara. I like Tia better.
Yeah.
Growing up, did y'all know they was biracial?
Yeah.
I didn't know that they were biracial.
They showed it on the show.
Like
Did they?
On the show, they met their white dad.
But I had to rewatch that.
I never knew.
I didn't even get to that point.
Oh, y'all must not have watched Sister a bunch as a kid.
I did, but it wasn't like something I was into. I was a Moesha kid. Sister was.
I was Moesha too. I can't watch Sister or Moesha now though.
I went back and rewatched Moesha, and I was just like, "Yikes! What was I watching?"
It was that bad?
Woo! It was like.
It was terrible.
Not who I thought she was. I was just like, "What is this show about?" She was a spoiled little something.
It was pretty good though. It wasn't.
No, it wasn't.
The acting wasn't bad.
The acting wasn't good.
No, the acting depended on who was in the show. Because some of their guest stars was just like, just because people are famous don't mean they need to be on TV.
Well, a lot of the guests weren't great actors. Like Fredo Starr wasn't a good actor on Moesha.
There's a lot of people saying like why they were on the show, like
just that they were celebrities.
Yeah, it was just the popular people at the time.
And that's another thing I realized, like watching 90s shows. I'm like, this is too music-y for me. Why every time we gotta have a musical guest? I don't want to hear that. Just get to what the show is. I used to really like that, but now I'm like, I don't want to hear that. Like, what is this about?
It's because when you get older, there's shows that you just can't watch anymore. Fresh Prince.
Like, I can't go back and watch all that. I can't do it.
All that was trash.
I tried to watch it.
I could watch it.
You can't watch it now.
You gotta watch it with kids. You can't watch it just by yourself as a grown.
Kids now are not going to think that's funny.
A 6-year-old, 7-year-old wouldn't think all that's funny.
No, they would hate it.
That's why they don't make all that anymore. You don't really see reruns of that. You see reruns like That's So Raven and Proud Family and stuff. When the last time you see the rerun of all that? That was funny.
I mean, Proud Family and all, they weren't good either.
Proud Family was always good.
No, it wasn't.
You were trying to tell me you didn't like the Proud Family.
I liked it when I was younger. Now I wouldn't watch it anymore.
I can't wait.
I'm not watching the reboot.
Like the reboot today, it's not bad. It's just not for me. It's for who it's for. It's targeted.
Oh, you still support Raven? I don't support her no more.
Well, we don't have many.
She don't think she black either.
And she's married to a white woman, but we can only.
She don't think she. She don't think she black.
You know what I really feel like a lot of child actors have trauma. And also I do feel like when you grow up a certain way, you might not know you black. I didn't know I was black till I was like 8. I was in 2nd grade when I found out I was black for the first time.
I've heard people say that, but how?
Okay, so I grew up in where we lived. By the time I came around, my family was out the struggle. So we doing well. We own our home. You know, we have a car. You know, my sisters go to college. We have college funds. My dad is in the house with us. We have 2 parents. My parents work. We're not on welfare. Sorry, I don't mean to be, but I'm just saying what I know from my.
No, speak it.
That's what black was to you.
When people say something wrong, well,
That's what black was to a lot of people.
While I was on welfare, don't drag me. So I didn't, you know, just things like that I didn't know. Like my parents were in the home, my parents worked. You know, we were able to go on vacations. And when I say vacation, like we went to Disney World. We went, you know, and I was the kid where if I asked my mom, like, hey, can I bring so-and-so with me? My mom would be like, yeah, bring so-and-so. And when my mom asked you, bring yourself.
That's better than me. My vacations were Six Flags. That's our vacation.
But if I wanted to do that, you didn't have to bring no money. Just bring you. And my mom covered all that stuff. My mom was the mom when the ice cream truck pulled up. She's like, how many kids outside? I'm like, but I want to give ice cream. She's like, no, everybody or you don't get none. Now, before, like when I was younger, we didn't have no black people on our block. There was us and one more black family. In our neighborhood, it was all Italian. I didn't think I was Italian. I just didn't know I was black. Like I said, until I got to second grade, we started learning about like slavery and stuff like that, and then that's when it really clicked for me. Like,
and then your friend said, "My ancestors used to own your ancestors."
About history and stuff like that. My name was always in the book. My name's oh, your name in the book, you African, and like, ain't African people black? Like, I'll be African. Like, no. And then like I don't know what it clicked for me, but one day it just clicked. Like, you black, like because for a long time, like I had white Barbies and everything. And I think once my family realized I didn't notice I was black, they took all of my white Barbies away. I got to keep one, and I got black, you know, the black Barbie curtains, and it was all black everything. You're black. So that's how I learned I was black. I didn't know.
So you learned it on your own?
No, I mean, like I learned it like in school, just learning different things. Like, okay, African people are not white. I mean, yes, there are white people in Africa, but you know what I'm saying? Like,
right.
Yeah.
My name's Kenya. Why would they name me after a random country? Like they could name me Asia or Paris. My name's Kenya. Like, so I realized like, oh, I'm black. And then like my mom was like really, really pro-black, which is funny because when people meet my mom, they like, why is she? And I'm like, if you knew that both my mom parents are African American, you understand why she behaves that way. So yeah, but mom's dark skinned, so it's easier for her to move the world as a black woman. So she's very much pro-black. Like we do black things. So I realized that I was black, and I just thought I was black. Because most of the kids that were around me were different. And I don't mean to be funny, but they were ashy. That was a no-no in my house. Like,
what do you mean ashy?
And I mean literally ashy. Like
other black kids or
yeah. Like when I finally met the black kids.
Oh, other black kids. I thought you were talking about
even like my other black friends, I didn't realize they were black. So like meeting new kids that might have had one parent or, you know, just a little bit ghetto.
So what did you think they were?
I don't know. Like even some of my family members, like I realized that I didn't think of them the same way I thought of myself. And yes, some of them are lighter than me, but I didn't think, I'm like, no, they different. They something else. Like I didn't know what they were. They were just not me. They didn't fit in my category. I didn't know what they were. So yeah, no. It took me a long time, especially because like my cousins used to make fun of me because my mom used to like buy my stuff out the catalogs. We used to go like on shopping trips. They're like, oh, you're a white girl. That's white girls be wearing it. Oh, you don't got this, white girls wear that. And I used to like, what do you mean? Like, doesn't everybody shop at the Sears catalog? Y'all don't be shopping at the Sears catalog? Where y'all be shopping at? Like at the gallery? What's the gallery? We go to Kenya Prussia. Like I didn't understand. I didn't know. I didn't know. Okay. It took me a long time. I did not know.
I was like, that's a different upbringing. That's different.
Growing up, and like I was one of the first people I knew with a cell phone, and I mean a phone. I ain't had no little minute phone. I had an actual plan.
Did they get you the Kenya doll from Toys R Us?
I made them daggone dolls. Not only did I have this, I had a knockoff one called Kendra. I have a sister called Kendra. I had Kenya and Kendra, and I had several of those daggone dolls. People kept giving them to me like it was something. Every time I meet somebody and they find out my name is Kenya, they want to teach me Swahili. Like, oh, you know, I've been to Kenya, Jambo. Like, good for you. That's nice. I don't speak Swahili. I'm American, so.
Was the Kenya dolls before or after you knew you were black?
I don't know. I remember growing up with them daggone dolls. I don't know where the doll come from. I don't know if the doll's supposed to be Kenya more or what. I don't know.
I didn't even know. I don't even know what the Kenya dolls are that y'all talking about.
Those a little black doll with kinky hair and the Kenya cloth like outfit on.
Kente claw?
Kente cloth.
Kenya.
Yeah.
I never heard of the Kenya doll, but
oh, you get my own doll, you know?
Yeah, I was thinking of that when she said they took away her little white Barbie. I thought they just replaced it with Kenya.
Yes, I did.
Kenya and Kendra, wow.
To all my white dolls, and I think it's because like I used to pop the heads off my black dolls, and they used to get them like I couldn't get their hair right. I used to like, girl, never mind. So I think once they realized like, oh, that's gonna be a problem, they kind of course corrected it. And because like when I was little, you couldn't tell me it was fine black men. I ain't never seen one. I used to be obsessed. Like you gotta understand, I was coming up in the 90s, so everything was very much Backstreet Boys in sync, and I was here for it.
Wow.
So you never made the switch over to B2K and the other groups?
Me too. I like Bow Wow and Romeo. Sammy was really my thing, but I wasn't really. I like white people for a long time. Like it took me a long time to really realize I was not gonna be white.
So when did you make that switch?
Because some people don't.
You made a switch. Some people don't make that switch. Like there's a lot of black women who will never make that switch.
Just growing up watching like stories and like movies and stuff, you see how certain characters act, and I realized like, that one look a little soft. That one always be cheating and beating on his wife, and then the dark skin one, like he might have been uglier, but I'm like, he the good one, so I guess we're gonna switch over here. We're gonna root for him from there on, and that's kind of what happened.
That's interesting. That's interesting.
I didn't know. Okay.
No, that's really interesting, though.
I grew up to marry a black man, have black. I didn't know. I thought I was going to ask for sure. If you ask me, if you go back and ask 8-year-old me, and if me and her have a conversation, she's going to ask, is your husband white? No. She's going to be very confused as to why. Like, you're not with a white person? No, ma'am.
That's interesting. So you like the Justin Timberlakes and those people?
No, what used to be my thing was Nick Carter. Then when Nick Carter kind of got old, Aaron Carter came out, and that was my thing. And I used to have them CDs. I used to be practicing them little instinct thing. I was weird. I didn't know, okay?
You're a little white girl.
It took me a long time. I didn't know. And you know what, really, everybody used to pick on me because they used to be like, you know, you look black, but you act white. Or something like, kids used to pull my hair or something weird. Like, oh, that's not extensions. I used to be very confused. Like, what is extensions? Your mother, like, or like when they got perms and stuff, I'm like, why? I'm confused. I didn't know. Or they would ask me like, who did my hair? I'm like, oh, I went to the salon, which most of the time my mom did my hair when we went to the salon. But they's like, what do you mean you go to the salon? I'm like, doesn't everybody go to the salon? I'm like, is that weird? Like y'all don't be getting y'all clothes, y'all don't pick. So when the catalogs come, it's like you get catalogs. Yeah, I get my own little magazines and stuff. Y'all don't get that? Like when I was little, we had, I don't remember if it was DirecTV or what, but we always had cable. But one of these remotes, it was shaped like a little dog. It was purple, and literally it didn't have no numbers. It just had like Disney Channel, Nickelodeon. So my friends used to come over there and be like, y'all got cable? And like, y'all don't got cable? Like, who don't have cable? I just thought that was something that came with people's houses. I didn't know better.
Man, talk about privilege.
Yeah, that's unique.
That's very
from a class, you know, from a class perspective.
Like when my dad got furniture, you know, my dad always had like a lazy boy chair. Nobody could sit my dad's chair. I sat in my dad's chair. So my dad got tired of me sitting in chair. He started buying me my own little replica. So every time we switch furniture, he got me a new chair. So it'll be like a mini lazy boy. And people used to be like, oh, I mean, grown people used to come to my house and be blown away. Like, you got this, you got that, like this. And I used to be like, is that weird? Like, okay. Anyways. Oh, they like, oh, you went to so and so, like.
No, that's an interesting.
I haven't had Airbnb. So when we used to travel, like go places, we would like when we went to Disney World, we would rent like a little mini mansion, and it'd be like me, like my core family, some of my aunts and uncles. We stayed there for like a week and a half. Do all the shop. I thought that was normal. I didn't know people didn't do stuff like that. I didn't know like people stayed in motels, and I didn't even know what a motel was for a long time. It's just I didn't know, okay? I didn't know. I didn't even know what food stamps. I remember the day I learned what food stamps was. A new girl moved up the block. And she was friends with some of my friends, but I realized like she was a little rough around the edges. She was like loud and stuff. I got to like her. But eventually one day her mom was loud and she was, you know how some moms are. She was just cursing and I was just like, oh my God. Like I thought they was in trouble. But they're like, she fine. This is how she talked. But she sent us to the store with the food stamp card. This is my first time seeing an access card in my life. I never knew. I thought food stamps was literally like stamps. So I thought like if you wanted a hot dog, you have to get them like a picture of a hot dog. Like I didn't. And she clowned me so bad. Like, what about food stamps? You know what food stamps is? And I was just like, no. But then she told me like, girl, you just buy whatever you want. And I was just like, well, this is lit. You don't need no money. Just give them your food stamp card, buy whatever. I didn't know.
Man, that's an interesting upbringing. That's
you gotta understand, like, I had free time, but I didn't have a lot of free time. My mom was very much, I call my mom the dragon. She don't think it's funny, but I call my mom the dragon because she's very much fire breathing, like I was locked in the tower, okay? There was always, every stuff was planned. I had very little free time. I'm not saying I never got to play or hang out with my friends. I did, just not as much as everybody else. So when I went to swimming lessons, I went to Spanish, I went to sign language. You know, we went to church a couple times a week. I went to tutoring, I went to ballet, I went to tap, jazz, African. I had stuff to do.
That sounds well-rounded.
She make my childhood sound like Oliver Twist.
I hated it. I really
got messed up.
Got the violence against it and put out their system because my teenage years were like, you know, I'm not doing none of this. Forget all that. I want to be a hood rat like everybody else. I mean, I cut my hair because I felt like that's something I could control. I was like, I want to be bald head too. I want to be bald. I want to see what it's like. You couldn't tell me I wasn't a hood. Okay?
Willow Smith.
This was good.
Yeah.
This was really.
This was dope.
It's a lot of good stuff.
Like when you grow up in church, you really don't. You be so sheltered. You don't know. As soon as you get a little bit of the outside, you be like, oh yeah, outside is where it's at. I won't be coming back 3-4 times a week. We used to be at shut-ins. Y'all know what shut-ins is. I'm a little kid. Want my hair at 12 o'clock in the morning. Let me go do something else. On New Year's Eve, we never went to New Year's Eve parties. One time.
Watch night.
Church first. We
had watch night.
Yeah. There was no Halloween. There was no church.
I've never been out on New Year's Eve. I've always been in church.
Another African ritual.
Well, now that I'm older, I can do whatever I want.
But
I can too, but I still find myself back in church.
All right, peace. This was good. I got a dip, but this was good.
Yeah, this was good. We got a lot.
I think we got a lot.
You told me I needed to come and I told I would, but I was busy. And see, everything is a mess. You can't see.
No, it worked out the way it was supposed to work out.
Everything looks fine.
But we gotta have you on again.
Yeah, I said we had a lot more to cover.
Yeah,
this was good.
I can't promise it's gonna be this level of energy. Honestly, I was sitting here, I ate most of this bag of candy. I was in my little class. I was talking to sleep. I was trying. I was just like, I ain't gonna make it. If it was not for this candy, I don't know what y'all would have got.
Oh, you did good.
No, you were good.
This was good.
Thank y'all for having me.
Thank you.
Thanks for